Wars don't begin with gunfire or borders. They start in the mind. Every conflict, from world wars to personal feuds, is born as a thought, a belief, a story we tell ourselves. Nations, borders, flags. These are just ideas we agree upon, given power by our collective belief. The real fight starts when we see our truth as the only truth, turning differences into threats. Leaders use words, not weapons, to create fear and division, painting others as enemies long before the first shot is fired. This mental war shapes reality, making violence seem inevitable. The soldier on the front line is just the final act of a conflict that began in the quiet corners of the mind. To understand war, we must look inward, at the stories and judgments we hold. The history of war is the history of the human mind weaponizing ideas. Our need for certainty and identity can lead us down destructive paths. The true battlefield isn't out there, it's within us. Only by examining our own minds can we hope to understand, and perhaps prevent, the wars that follow. The same mental patterns that fuel wars between nations play out in our daily lives. A heated argument with a loved one is a miniature battle, ego versus ego, each defending their own truth. Small slights escalate because they threaten our sense of self, not because of the issue itself. We retreat into our own fortresses, armed with past grievances, ready to attack. In traffic, at work, even at home, we turn others into enemies over minor offenses. These daily skirmishes reveal the anatomy of larger conflicts. The need to be right, the urge to judge, the quickness to defend. Whether it's a quarrel over chores or a national dispute, the root is the same, a mind clinging to its position. The scale differs, but the psychology is identical. We rehearse the patterns of war every day, often without noticing. At the heart of conflict is the mental act of dividing the world into us and them. We attach our identity to groups, nation, religion, team, and their struggles become ours. But creating us automatically creates them, turning individuals into faceless categories. Empathy fades. It's easier to resent a group than a person. This division simplifies the world into good versus evil, making it easy to blame and harder to understand. Leaders exploit this, rallying people by highlighting threats from them. Yet, these lines are imaginary, labels we invent. People everywhere share the same hopes and fears. The things that unite us are deeper than the labels that divide us. Still, we let these divisions govern our actions, paving the way for misunderstanding and conflict. The US versus them illusion is the first step toward war. Technology and society have changed, but the pattern of human conflict remains the same. From ancient epics to modern wars, the story repeats, groups convinced of their righteousness, fighting for identity, honor, or survival. The weapons evolve, but the motives, fear, ego, belonging, do not. Listen to the rhetoric of any era, appeals to honor, warnings of threats, justifications rooted in old grievances. The costumes change, but the drama is unchanged. History doesn't repeat, but human nature does. The problem of war isn't technological or political, it's psychological. Our minds are still wired for tribalism and validation. Until we address these internal patterns, we'll keep finding new ways to fight the same old battles. The real challenge is changing the mind, not just the tools. We've sought peace through treaties and alliances, but these are only temporary fixes. They manage symptoms, not causes, because the root of conflict is in the mind. As long as we see the world as us versus them, peace remains fragile. The true frontier of peace isn't on a map. It's within each of us. Real peace begins when we stop fighting internal wars of anger, judgment, and division. The desire to be right, the flash of irritation, the subtle prejudice, these are the seeds of conflict. Peace is not demanded from the world, but cultivated within ourselves. If the world reflects our collective minds, then changing ourselves is the most powerful act for peace. The solution lies within, not out there. How do we cultivate inner peace? By shifting from automatic reaction to conscious reflection. When provoked, our instinct is to react, defend, attack, escalate. But between trigger and response, there's a space, a moment of awareness. In that space, we can observe our anger or fear without acting on it. This isn't suppression, it's understanding. By watching our reactions, we separate from them and gain freedom. Self-observation turns conflict into self-discovery. Often, our anger is rooted in old wounds or insecurity, not the present moment. Choosing reflection over reaction diffuses conflict before it starts. If enough of us make this choice, we change the collective atmosphere. Peace is a path we walk, moment by moment. In the pause before we react, hope for a different world is born.